the challenges one can face, and accordingly, keeping all this in mind, one still can grow as a solopreneur as well. Well, my name is Rishi, and I started my career long back, as was mentioned in the introduction as well. I did start my very first business with my uncle in 2011 when there was a big boom of online ticketing, online recharges, etc. That's where the taste of business was first revealed. Keeping a long journey in short, I am an Amazon certified solutions architect. I started my career with Infosys. I worked there for 2.5 years. Then I worked as a senior IT consultant for a UK firm called as Fusion Global, where I was responsible for the entire cloud infrastructure management, build, audits, cost optimization, etc. for European and US banks. While working there, as a corporate employee, I did realize the importance, of the India journey, the growth journey, around 2018-19, and that's where the bug of solopreneurship, did hit me. So I'll talk about, for everybody's understanding, the shift from traditional employment to solopreneurship or independent entrepreneurship. How did it really come into the picture in the recent years? The very first thing which has helped is gigs economy. I'm assuming a few must have heard of freelancer.com or maybe upwork.com. These are the platforms from where people who are already working in the corporate ladder, or maybe in early startups as well, they started utilizing their time in such portals like freelancer.com, upwork.com, and they started taking the projects from all across the globe and started delivering. The ones who considered it as a major success, then they eventually started their entrepreneurial journey as well as a solopreneur. A solopreneur is a one who does not require anybody's help, who is the solo owner and solo founder of his or her own venture. So in India particularly, from last 2017 and 18, and obviously since COVID has hit and hard, the gig economy particularly has helped to form a lot of solopreneurs. That is one. Then second, obviously there are a lot of sectors where people still are working as a sole. For example, artists, one of vertical, you name any sort of, they are at the initial stage, at least they work, keeping in mind whatever they are really good at, their expertise are, they either perform or they sell their art in galleries, exhibitions, etc. A CA can be a solopreneur as well. A CS can be a solopreneur as well, where her responsibility is to provide her excellence and her expertise or his expertise to a lot of ventures, to a lot of companies. So in India, the shift from just working in a company to utilizing, the available time to work, and deliver to various organizations and startups came into picture in the recent years very aggressively. And that's where the rise of solopreneurship as well. Now, one can talk about the, so many benefits and so many, drawbacks of it as well. I have highlighted a few, which I believe had, while I was in the journey of solopreneurship, it did hit me, so I would particularly talk about them. The very first benefit of being a solopreneur is, you have the flexibility. You need not to get into the cycle of red tape. Now, what is a red tape? Red tape is a concept where a manager, then a senior manager is approving some idea, then it goes to the director, so and so forth. You are flexible, you know pretty well if this is going to work, you trust your gut feel and then you deliver as well. So, flexibility is something which really is a key perk when you are working as a solopreneur. The second important thing is your own mind and its creative freedom. For example, if you have thought of, I have built a website, and how about if I add a particular animation to it? Then you need not to think about, should I, wait for somebody's approval? Why is it taking so much of time? I have to wait for 1 month for its approval, etc. That doesn't exist in solopreneurship. Solopreneurship is about your own creative freedom and implementation at the very right time as well, so that you can get the key results on priority and accordingly you can understand the results which are coming out of that implementation as well. The very important perk and benefit of solopreneurship is, you become the key decision maker of all your decisions, and hence you control your time as well. We all have 24 hours. You can sleep for 6 to 8 hours. Then what are you really doing on that 16 to 18 hours is going to define your journey as a successful solopreneur. So, utilizing it well, dividing it into several chunks. Maybe first 3 hours I'll be focusing on this particular task, because then, let's say generating the invoice is also your responsibility, delivering it is also your responsibility, testing before delivering is also a responsibility, identifying potential client is also your responsibility, so and so forth. There is no dead end to the type of responsibilities which you have to take care as a solopreneur. So these 24 hours in your life are really important, and how you control it is actually going to affect overall journey of you as a solopreneur. And the best part is, you need not to ask somebody else for the permission. You need not to come to an office at 9 a.m. and leave at 6:30. You want to start at 6 a.m. in the morning, you can start at 6 a.m. as well. You want to work till midnight, you can work till midnight as well. So this flexibility, this control on time, the importance of creative freedom does help you as a solopreneur in your journey. If I talk about a few challenges which are still really relevant till today and are important and will be important in your journey as well, because I see so many students have joined this particular conference. So for you, before you begin your solopreneurship journey, you should think about, the very first thing is, solopreneurship comes with scaling limitations as well. What does that mean? As an individual, I can serve to 5 clients, 10 clients, maybe 15, 20. Now how about 50 clients, 30 clients, 100 clients? So because you have your limited time and you have your burnout risk as well, you cannot just keep working as a machine 24 hours. You need your own flexible time as well, so that you can take a break and get back to again the task which is on your shoulders. So you really have to make sure that you understand that scaling limitation is applicable in solopreneurship, and at a time when you have realized that, okay, more than 20 projects I cannot work with as a CA, as a CS, as an engineer, as an architect, as an artist, then you need more helping hands, more reliable hands, and most importantly, the people whom you can trust. Because in business, irrespective of it's $1 billion, $1 million self started, bootstrap, funded, SME IPO, public IPO, whatever it is, if you do not have trusted people around you in your business, then it becomes really challenging to scale and grow your business. So while you're starting your journey as a solopreneur, have this very clear mindset. Solopreneurship comes up with scaling limitations, and there is an up to the mark where you can achieve, and after that you need helping hands. The second most important lesson which I have learned from my journey of last 8 years, and first 2-3 years I was also a solopreneur, is financial instability. Like chasing clients about, when will my invoice get cleared? It's been 45 days, it's been 30 days. I have raised my invoice earlier, you're not responding. A few clients getting ghosts as well. All this thing happens, So you need to come up with a plan wherein you are so sure that you would like to have some percentage as an advance while you are starting and before you are starting any task for any of your clients. Because this will help you to keep your point very clear that you deserve to be compensated as a solopreneur for whatever task you have taken in hand. That's one. And second, the client is also responsible to pay you on time, and with this advance, it can be 5%, it can be 10%, 30%, etc. But he or she will realize that to do business with this particular solopreneur, she or he needs to make sure that financial terms are very clear and they are done on the due time course as well. And I did face challenge earlier, so I thought of highlighting this particular challenge in this webinar. The one important aspect of solopreneurship and its challenge is how much can you think you will be able to scale, and where the industry is really moving. are the two things in parallel or not? For example, now AI is into the picture, and AI is revolutionizing the entire way solopreneurs also work. For example, now if you want to create a banner, a banner can hardly be created in 5 to 10 minutes. You still need the expertise to do the required advanced level of changes, but then a lot of tools coming into picture, likes of Copilot, etc. It has become just a task of a particular keyword string called as prompt engineering. You prompt to the particular AI tool, and it is giving you the desired results as well. So if you are going to take 3 hours of time to design a banner, you may not be a good solopreneur anymore, but you may be 2 years back the line, or maybe 3 years earlier as well. So adapting to the market changes and understanding where the industry is moving as a solopreneur is really, really important. It's not only important for your growth, but it is also important to stay relevant to the market and its understanding. At the end of the day, guys and girls, business is actually all about how much you have in cash at the end of the day. And if you are really clear as a solopreneur as well, you want to earn along with building your own credibility, you want to earn as well. So please make sure that you are keeping intact with the market changes as well. The another point of what are the strategies one can follow in order to grow as a solopreneur, I thought of highlighting that as well, and a few pointers which did help me. And at the end, I'll talk about the case studies, a couple of case studies which can help students too. As a solopreneur, when you're starting, you should think of making your personal brand very strong. Now, when I say personal brand, what does that mean? Let's assume, as an architect, if somebody is here, or as a CACS or an engineer, please make your LinkedIn profile really strong. Utilize all its feature possible, add your projects to it, try to connect with, people whom you aspire to be like, or try to connect with prospective clients, identify, put filters, get in touch with them, outreach to as many people as you can, attend expos, attend exhibitions. Now, all these things, they may look very overwhelming, but then they actually help you to get into the actual business, and accordingly gain the best insights from your peers, from the experienced professionals, from these expos, workshops, exhibitions, etc., and eventually help you build a very strong personal brand. You need not to always talk about business with people. That is the second key takeaway, and which can help you as well. While you are in the cycle of delivering to one of your prospective clients, ask about their story. How did they start? What was the challenge which they faced initially? How did they really conquer it? Fit into their expectations. Try to make a very good professional relation with them, so that the next time when somebody is thinking about such services which you offer, and if your client is a mutual connect in between, then your client can actually refer you. And it did help me as a solopreneur as well in 2018-19, when I didn't promote myself or my services as a sponsored ad on Meta platforms or LinkedIn platform, etc. It was all my clients who referred to me, and that's how it helped me as well, right? And you have to make sure that you marketize your skills pretty well. The last learned speaker did talk about her website as well. It has become a basic necessity in 2025, and it was earlier as well, to have at least your branding website available, and its SEO is optimized well as well. So for example, if somebody is searching for let's say an interior designer near me, right? So when somebody is searching for interior designer near me, can your personal brand website or your business website can rank higher? Or when somebody is searching relevant services on Fiverr, on Freelancer, or Upwork, or LinkedIn, can you rank higher? Because if you can rank higher, then the chances of you getting business increases, and that's how you get more clients and your outreach increases. Another important lesson, and I think that is the last lesson which I can think of based on my journey, which I'd like to highlight here, is to make sure that whatever you have delivered, you build case studies out of it. If you build case studies out of it, and you will put it on various channels. You can create a YouTube video of 2-3 minutes and talk about it. Instagram reels are really famous nowadays as well, right? So how about you take an Insta reel and upload it on your channel, and if you feel like this can be promoted as well, then you promote it to various locations, various demographic. Because at the end of the day, guys and girls, always remember one thing: your journey as a solopreneur is limited, and it can be limited for 5 months, 5 years, maybe 5 decades if you really just want to stick with solopreneurship. But at the end of the day, your growth will only depend on when people are talking about your expertise and your deliverables, right? And to let that happen, your network built up, which Rudrakshi has really highlighted pretty well earlier, the way you are promoting yourself, the type of brand you are building, all does really matter, and based on my past experience, not only in corporate but as a solopreneur as well, one thing I've realized: you should give as much as you can to get as much as you can. You provide free advices to your prospective clients about more things which they may not be even expecting. For example, my client came to me earlier: can you build this e-commerce website? I built it. But then I talked about, hey Nathan, why don't you promote it on these channels as well in order to grow? And then he asked me, can you promote? And I promoted his website as well. So that's how, just from a website development project, it also became a marketing project for me, and I was growing as a solopreneur as well. So these are a few things which I thought of, highlighting in this short duration. And my last key takeaway, I'll share one case study, and the case study is of Pharoscion Global itself. Pharoscion, guys, is a digital transformation company, where we are helping our clients India and abroad, from cloud-based IT solutions and their digital presence transformation as well, right? And it all happened. Right now, we are delivering in 9 countries. We started with Australia, we served in Costa Rica, UK, US, UAE, etc. My journey of 8 years of into business taught me one very important lesson. At the end of the day, all what's going to matter is whether you delivered what you committed or not. As a solopreneur, as a company owner, and most important, as a professional. If you delivered what was required, then you can also form a company which can be a multi-million-dollar company, which can be a multi-billion-dollar company as well. Or it can be a race where you are competing with all the other solopreneurs, but when you look back, you see everybody is behind you and you are leading that race as well. So with that, my best wishes to all the students here, to all the professionals here. I wish you a great journey as a solopreneur, and I really will be happy, to take any questions henceforth over the email or in this conversation as well. And thank you once again, SKN Group Associates and TIA, for the opportunity. I hope this short conversation did help somebody. Thank you.
Firstly, thank you for this amazing conversation, Rishiji, because I think multiple of our audience connected with you too, just like in Rudrakshi's case, and it was really heartwarming to know your experiences and everything. Could you please share your email ID in the chat box, where if any of our audience has queries, they can straight away connect, since we have a time constraint.
Sure.
Thank you for the speech again. Now, moving ahead, I would like to thank Mr. Rishi Dadhich for his amazing speech.